What up, y'all? It's your man D-Real, the Black Panther stalking the urban jungle environment, bringing you another Be Real with D-Real. Here we are, hanging out. How was your week? How was your weekend? How's your life? How you living? You know what? You're not rich. You're not a celebrity. But there are celebrities that we know and love that they all got to start somewhere. Okay, but they're names that when you hear them, you think to yourself, it's kind of hard to believe that there was a time when these actors were absolutely positively unheard of. Well, today we're going to be doing the top 10 actors who went from no name to mad game. Okay? We're going to start off with number 10. Number 10. Everybody loving on number 10. Number 10 is Jennifer Lawrence. Now, prior to Winter's Bone, literally, Jennifer Lawrence had worked. She'd been on a couple of television series, but before Winter's Bone, which was an indie movie, I might add, didn't nobody know what a Jennifer Lawrence was. And then all of a sudden, Katniss Everdeen came onto the scene. And once Jennifer Lawrence became Katniss Everdeen and did the Hunger Games, things just started opening up. She had little all kinds of, man, I can't even begin to name off a lot of her movies, but clearly she's best known for playing the role of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games and her run as Mystique in the X-Men reboots. So one of the highest paid actresses in Hollywood, still doing it, been doing it, and will probably continue to do it. I think Jennifer Lawrence got her started in like the early 2000s. Congrats, Jen. Keep up the good work. Number nine. Everybody's talking about number 9. Christopher Reeve. Okay, this might be a generational thing. I understand that. Some of y'all may not know who Christopher Reeve is. However, those of us who have watched Superman movies and love Superman, we would never have an idea of what a man from Krypton would be like until we saw Superman back in 78. It was the definitive Superman movie and still is for a lot of people. Man of Steel is great, but you can't talk about Man of Steel without talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman, because if it wasn't for Christopher Reeve, we probably wouldn't have a Superman. Or it wouldn't be Christopher Reeve, it'd be somebody else. But Christopher Reeve, I feel like, unfortunately, got typecast in that role. Christopher Reeve's been in lots of other movies. I remember seeing Christopher Reeve in Death Trap. I remember seeing him in a movie called Somewhere in Time with James Seymour, where he like traveled back into like the Victorian era. And it just, he never got away from that Superman typecast. And I don't think it's such a bad thing. He always will, always has been, and always will be Superman. He's Superman to me. Rest in peace, Kal-El, the real Kal-El. Real talk. Number 8 is Mel Gibson. And I know what y'all thinking, but Mel had work prior to the Mad Max movies, but nobody cares. Because before Mad Max, nobody knew who Mel Gibson was. He signed on for the first 2, and they were successful, and they made a third. And from there, Mel Gibson started to soar. And then with the advent of the Lethal Weapon series, that basically was that. I think that was his breakthrough role. Was as Riggs in the '87 Lethal Weapon movie. He's went on to do great work behind the camera too. You know, people still talk about Passion of the Christ. That was, and he's also had his little tete-a-tetes with the media and folks, in the news, and him, saying stuff he ain't had no business saying, and being drunk and all that kind of stuff. But he's male. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do about male? All right. Number seven. Number seven. Everybody talk about number seven. Number seven is Mark Hamill. Again, prior to his breakout role, nobody knew what a Mark Hamill was. Nobody cared. But in his debut, Star Wars was his acting debut. In his debut, and that is a real ballsy move. Congratulations to you, Mr. Lucas, taking a relatively unknown and making him the protagonist of your franchise. Again, Mark Hamill kind of suffered from that same sort of problem as Christopher Reeve did when he became typecast and he was just Luke Skywalker. Because I can remember seeing him on, I think it was a movie called Corvette Summer. He did a movie, and I think he was trying to break away from the Star Wars thing. And that's all I could see is Luke Skywalker in a Corvette. But he went on to find his niche in voice acting. Mark Hamill had a recurring role on Batman the Animated Series, voicing the Joker. And I had no idea that Mark Hamill had that kind of talent, because I will argue with anybody. Mark Hamill's Joker is just as entertaining as Jack Nicholson's and Heath Ledger's. Yep, I said it. Mark Hamill's Joker is awesome. Okay? It's not just a Jedi. Number six. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Again, prior to 1977 and that Halloween movie, all she was the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. Them actors from the 50s and 60s. If y'all don't know who they are, look them up. I ain't got time. Anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis' breakout role was being the original Scream Queen. Okay? Halloween was so successful that right away, Carpenter knew he was going to do a sequel. John Carpenter is of Halloween fame and many other great movies that we know and love. Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China. Go John Carpenter. Love your stuff. But Jamie Lee Curtis, she went on to have an amazing career. Do you think that has something to do with her last name was Curtis? Nah. Jamie Lee Curtis is a talented actress. I enjoy watching Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies, especially that scene where she's doing a striptease for Arnold Schwarzenegger and reaches out to try to grab the bedpost and misses it and falls. And it is hilarious. You have to watch her in True Lies. The movie's great because of her. When she's in that limo and she's beating the shit out of Tia Carrere with that champagne bottle, it's like what? Have we done it? Love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's awesome sauce. Not just Halloween. You know what I'm saying? And she was great in the remake of Freaky Friday. I'm like, goodness, she's talented. She is actually talented. I say that like she shouldn't be talented. Again, I let off with she's the daughter of two actors. Why wouldn't she be a good actor? At least she should be. It's in her blood. Okay. Number 5. We into the top 5. Okay, and this 5 is definitely going to be 5 that are for more for this generation. 90s, 2000s on. those actors. They are currently the upper echelon of acting. Well, not number 5, but number 5 is definitely memorable. Sigourney Weaver. Okay, prior to the Alien movie, even though she was getting work, she had work here and there, but none of that compares to the breakout role. The breakout role as Ellen Ripley is what we know Sigourney Weaver for. That and there is no Dana on this soul. That's it. Well, that's not it, but that's what we like the most. That's what, as nerds, that's what we want to see. Throw in some Ghostbusters. Throw in some aliens. Aliens. Not Alien, and not Alien Resurrection, and definitely not Alien 3. But that just tells you right there, she got mileage. She got 4 movies out of her breakout role. You know what I'm saying? Went on to do she did Ghostbusters between a couple of Alien movies. And Sigourney Weaver she's been interesting in like little bit roles and parts that you hear her in. She does voice work. Talented actress, very talented actress. Get away from her, you bitch. I had to say that. Just how you gonna talk about Sigourney Weaver and not hit that line right there? What you want brother do? What you want brother do? Okay, number 4. Everybody talking about number 4. Rob Pattinson. Exactly. Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Prior to his role in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, nobody knew what a Rob Pattinson was. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's the sparkly, angsty vampire that loves Bella in the Twilight series. Twilight was not my cup of tea. I'll be honest with you. I don't really care for Twilight. It was interesting. I like the werewolf aspect of it. But sparkly vampires walking around in the daytime. I saw a meme where the Count from Sesame Street was punching Edward Cullen. Exactly. Bruh, vampires don't do that. We're going to have a meeting. Come to Vampire Central and we're going to let you know what goes on. Okay. What goes on? Well, number 3. Everybody talking about number 3. Gal Gadot. I don't know how she pronounces it, but I'm going to call her Gal Gadot because Gal Gadot sounds silly. And if that's your name for real, baby, I apologize. Gal Gadot, prior to her run in The Fast and the Furious and them little off-brand movies, didn't nobody know who she was. Nobody knew she was Night and Day, and what was the other one where she was? See? Exactly. Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman. Now, I fear that because she's doing what she's doing right now, she runs the risk of getting typecast as Wonder Woman because she did the role so well, a lot like Christopher Reeve in his role as Superman. I seriously think that Gal Gadot is going to get typecast if she doesn't get like another really dope role real soon. Thoughts? Do we think she will continue to be an amazing Wonder Woman, or does Gal need to get into something else before that's all she is Wonder Woman? I would hate to see that happen to her, but hey, she's eating. Number two. Everybody talking about number 2, and y'all really are talking about number 2 a lot. Chris Hemsworth's breakout role is the role he still plays as Thor. He's been Thor in 3 movies, three movies with Thor in it, and a fourth is coming out soon, Blood and Thunder. And he was also in the Avengers franchise. And side note, he was the daddy of Captain Kirk in the reboot of Star Trek with Christopher Pine. So he was working, but we didn't know nothing about him until he was Thor. And he nailed that role pretty good. I like the cinematic version of Thor actually more than I like the comic book version of Thor. Even though the comic book version of Thor is way, 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 way more powerful than the cinematic version. The cinematic version doesn't take himself as seriously as comic book Thor does. And he doesn't talk with all of that Shakespearean thee thy thither thou dost doeth crap. Don't nobody want to watch that or read that. And this brings us to number one. My number one of the top 10 actors who went from no name to mad game, Hugh Jackman. Now, Hugh Jackman's rise could be described as meteoric because he went from being nobody to carrying a whole damn franchise. X-Men was Hugh Jackman, period. There were other X-Men there. Cyclops was there, but wasn't nobody paying attention to Cyclops like we was paying attention to Wolverine. Storm was there, but wasn't nobody paying attention to Storm like they was paying attention to Wolverine. Wolverine was the X-Men franchise, and that was so painfully evident when he wasn't in a Wolverine, in an X-Men movie. They sorely needed his presence there. And he went on to do other movies, and I mean good movies like The Prestige, Les Miserables, The Greatest Showman. I mean, Hugh Jackman, he's working, okay? And he's not about to slow down just because he's not Wolverine anymore. That doesn't mean he isn't viable as an actor. I mean, he cemented his place in Hollywood with tons of movies. I mean, good stuff too. And it isn't just, us tooting our horn, because the X-Men franchise for me was all right. But, like everybody else, I was watching it because Wolverine. Okay. And that's it, y'all. That's the top 10 actors who went from no name to mad game. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that was a pretty good list? No? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what I'm putting down and you want to keep coming around, hey, that rhymes. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Be Real with D-Real page. I put out new videos at a rate of about 2 to 3 a week. So anytime you come to this page, you're going to see something new on a given day. So with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out, but I will be back. Until then, y'all be good and be good to each other.